Happy Wednesday! Hi, everyone. It is Jonna Redmond, your favorite Atlanta realtor. And it's Wednesday and it's noon. So let's have a little lunch and let's talk a little real estate. Ready? Fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about the due diligence period. So the due diligence period actually was called the inspection period when I got into real estate. I'm about to date myself. Hey Mo, I'm about to date myself. I started in real estate in 2020. In 2006. Lord, I started real estate in 2006. Right. I was investing, and so it was called the inspection period at that time. But now it's called the due diligence period because it's much more than just getting your inspection done. Right. It's truly your decision time, right? It's a time frame for you to go ahead and yes, get your inspection done, but also confirm that this is the proper house or the right house for you and your family, right? So the due diligence period actually is the most misunderstood process when you're purchasing a house because it's where buyers can protect themselves. But it's also where buyers can create unnecessary risk, right? So it's time for you to get your inspections done, right? But we're not going to nitpick on the cosmetic repairs. Um, it's your protection window. We're going to find out what's going on with the property that you can't see with your naked eye, right? So we're going to look for my favorite acronym, PREACH: your plumbing, your roof, your electrical, your AC, and your heat. Those are the things that we're looking for, right? We're looking to make sure that these systems in your house are working properly. They're not they're not about to age out. Um, you want to find the age of each of these systems because that's something you're going to want to know, not just for you, but your insurance company is going to want to know that as well. And you want to see if there are any hidden risks or something that you may have to pay for later on. So this might be the time for you to bring a specialist in. For houses that were built a million years ago, you're going to have to make sure that the pipes were changed in the yard. So guess what? Your insurance covers the pipes inside your house. The city covers the pipes at the street. Guess who covers the pipes in the yard? That's right, you do. So if you have old 100-year-old, hello, if you have old 100-year-old pipes in your yard, the cast iron pipes, and something happens to them in your yard, you're going to have to get those replaced. That's going to be totally your responsibility to get that replaced, right? Right. So sometimes I'll have investors who will get properties and they'll waive their entire inspection period. Yes, 100%. The age of all of the systems helps your insurance and it helps us tremendously. Um, so I've had investors who bought houses and they didn't have inspections done. And for an investor who's changing everything in the house, that's for the most part okay because they're going to change everything. But as an investor, you still want to know what you're going to have to spend money on. If you're able to salvage the HVAC system and you don't have to spend money on that, that's fantastic. But if you didn't know the HVAC system didn't work in the beginning and you found out later on when you're getting the repairs, that's, tens of thousands or could be tens of thousands of dollars. And now you have to spend where if you would have just got your inspection done in the beginning, you would have known that and you would have been able to budget for it, right? So if your inspection pulls up any, infestations, whether they be termites, rodents, or little roaches. If you see any of that stuff on your inspection report, go ahead and bring in a specialist to get that taken care of. You also want to bring in some contractors. If you know that there's going to be repairs that you're going to have to take care of after the fact, go ahead and bring in a contractor to get you some quotes on whether or not you should do that yourself after closing, or whether or not you should ask the seller to take care of that prior to closing, or if you should ask the seller for a price reduction or credit towards those repairs to get done, right? Once you get the inspection report, be sure to look at it logically. You don't want to react emotionally to the inspection report. Why? Because you want to seek to understand it and not react to it emotionally. Because your inspector, you just paid him between $400 and $600 to find something. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to find something. The inspector is paid to find something. Even on new construction homes, they're going to find something. And that's fine, because that's what you paid them to do. So don't get emotional about it. The reports are always going to look a little scary, and that's fine because that is what they're paid to do. We're going to look at the inspection report with some logic behind it, and we're going to distinguish what's like regular maintenance, like, regular wear and tear, and what's a major defect. Fantastic. I'm so happy for you for investing in real estate. I'm sure the Dallas market is one in which is going to absolutely be something that it could be beneficial to you. And I know some phenomenal agents in Texas if you need an agent. Yeah, so we're going to distinguish between what is regular maintenance, like regular wear and tear, and what's a major defect, right? Because we're going to go back to our acronym PREACH. And as long as your systems are in place, right, everything else could be cosmetic. We're going to focus on the systems and the things that make sense because we're going to be very strategic in what we're doing when we're negotiating because we're only looking at the things that we can get from the seller, right? We're worried about we're focused on safety and functionality only. The cosmetic stuff is stuff you're probably going to change anyway, so we're not going to stress about that, right? And we're not going to kill a deal over a cosmetic change. If you see a paint color on the wall that you don't like, you're going to change that anyway. Have a paint party after the fact. Oh, that is super sweet. No, I'm not licensed in Dallas. I was thinking about getting my license in Texas. I have not gotten it yet. I don't know. I don't know. We certainly have a conversation about that. But yeah, we're not looking to kill deals over cosmetic issues. We're only looking to make sure that the deal works for you. That's simply it. We're not looking to negotiate in terms of revenge or the get back. We want to make sure that we're doing things of value. We want to make sure that you are looking to make smart decisions and not look for the win, right? In order for me to win, they got to lose. Yeah, no, look for the smart decisions, right? And then after your inspection is done, go ahead and reassess the entire deal. Reassess your entire decision. Hey, does this house still work for you, right? Does this house still fit the needs of your family? Does this price still work for you? Does it still make sense based upon the repairs that either you're going to have to do after the fact or the repairs that you've asked the seller to do? And then has your comfort level changed with this house? Whether you're a home buyer or an investor, the numbers still have to make sense. You don't want to have to, buy a house at the top of the market, but then have to come in and replace the HVAC and the roof. Trust me, I'm replacing the HVAC right now. It is not fun. But it is something that has to be done. So, hey, Wes. So it is something to certainly consider when you're getting your inspections done inside your due diligence period. So that being said, what are some mistakes that people make? Waiving the due diligence period altogether. I know during COVID, a lot of people were doing that and they were finding out later on that it was a huge mistake. So during COVID, what I was doing with clients, instead of removing the due diligence period altogether, we were asking for a right to request repairs. I know people don't read their contracts, they don't know what's in there. But a right to request repairs means I can get an inspection on this property and I can come to you and ask you to repair things. And if you choose not to repair them, if I find technically, if I find something that you didn't disclose to me, I find something on the inspection report that you didn't disclose, I can ask you to repair that. If you choose not to repair it, I can terminate. Did you know that? I just taught you something. And now here's something for you to learn. Okay. Waiving your due diligence period altogether or waiving your inspections is certainly not something that I would recommend. Even when I bought my own house, I had my inspection done. That $500 that you spend on your inspection can save you thousands in the long run. Waiting too long. Another mistake is waiting too long to have your inspection done. Due diligence periods are anywhere between, 3 days. I've seen investors do 3 days to 14 days. I've had home buyers ask for 14 days. So waiting well into that due diligence period to have your inspection done could be very costly to you. That not only would make the seller think you're not a serious buyer anymore, but they may not want to negotiate with you anymore. So with inspectors that I use, I make sure that inspector can do the inspection within 24 to 48 hours of our binding agreement date, and we can get the inspection report back within 24 hours. If you can't do those things, I totally understand. I'll get you on the next one. We're going to have to move on to another one of my inspectors. That's just kind of what it is. And if my buyers, choose to use an inspector that's not on the list, I do still ask them, hey, you use whoever you want to. I'm not married to anybody, but make sure that they can get the inspection done within 24 to 48 hours and have their report back to you within 24 hours. Well, what did you learn, Mo? Tell us what you learned. You said you learned one new thing today. So what was that thing? So make sure that you're getting your inspection done within a timely fashion. Also, not ignoring your timelines. Your earnest money is your initial deposit, right? And typically it's about 1% of your sales price. So if you're buying a house for $350,000, that's $3,500 you put down for earnest money, which means if you're not doing things in a timely fashion, you can absolutely lose that money. You can put that money in jeopardy. And I don't know about you, but $3,500 is not something to sneeze at. So making sure that you're staying within your time frames is vital to making sure that this makes sense for you. Also, another mistake is you're focusing on the cosmetic issues. Why are we focused on the paint colors on the wall? You're going to replace that. You're going to repaint that anyway. You're going to have a paint party and it's going to be done. Why are we worried about things that you can actually change? If you're worried about the pulls or the handles on the kitchen cabinets, that is something that a quick Amazon search or Home Depot run can resolve in a matter of minutes, right? So we're not going to worry about that stuff. Not budgeting for repairs that you're going to have to take care of outside of the deal, right? Not realizing that even if you're a home buyer and the seller has not agreed to take care of a repair that you're negotiating, you're going to still want that contractor to give you an idea of what it's going to cost you to fix it after the fact. And you're going to want to budget for that. And that budget might include a price reduction from the seller, it might include a credit, or it might include you saying, hey, I'm gonna have to walk away from this deal because it's not in line with my budget, right? So making sure you have that information is certainly key. And this next mistake is one in which I preach to my clients, and I don't know why more people don't, but not driving your neighborhood. I can do absolutely nothing about your neighbors. I can't do anything about the street that you live on. I can only help you negotiate a phenomenal deal, right? I can't do anything if your next door neighbor has naked lawn mowing at 7 a.m. on every Saturday morning in the summer. I can't do anything about that. But if you were to ride the neighborhood, right, go over to the neighborhood in the morning, in the evenings, in the afternoon, go during the week, go on the weekend, right? Drive from your job to the house so you can see what the commute looks like. Drive there in the morning, drive there in the evening, because I can't do anything about your commute, but you can. Those are all the things that you're going to want to do during your due diligence period, because those are things that are super important to you. Because again, those are things that are not within the contract and I don't have control over, but you do. Are you comfortable with having an hour commute back and forth to work if you're not, if you don't work from home? Are you comfortable with that? Only you know, right? Your due diligence period is short, but it should also help you come to clarity very, very quickly. You should be very comfortable and very confident and the inspection report, the due diligence period should absolutely confirm that this is the right house for you. So guys, please, please, please do not waive your inspection report. Don't waive your due diligence period. It is there for a reason. In Georgia, it is the time frame in which you can get your earnest money back for any reason under the sun. But make sure that you are actually not using it as a formality, as it's a part of the contract, but you're actually doing your due diligence. You're riding the neighborhood. You're getting your inspections done. You're bringing in specialists. You're not emotional about what you find in the inspection report because you've paid your inspector to find something. You guys, I hope you have used this time with me as something to learn. I hope you guys learned something, and I'm so excited that you joined me. And join me every Wednesday for a little lunch and a little real estate right here on the Running Realtor ATL page. Talk to you soon and have a great week.